I don't know why I took it out.
Three is good.
3 is very good. And now 4 is good too. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, this is much better. Okay. Hello. 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 Ah, that's better too.
us all. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. You can even sing it to the person next to you. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. That takes a lot of guts to sing to the person right next to you. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. So this week's Torah portion, it's a big deal. A lot happens.
Oh, a lot.
A lot happens. Moses seems to be lost. He's been gone for nearly 40 days on top of a mountain, and the Israelites, who, as one might imagine, they're a little anxious. They've been in slavery for a few hundred years. Now they're on the middle of the desert. What's going on? Where did Moses go? He didn't say how long he was going to be gone. So they freak out. And they say to Aaron, Aaron, come on, we need somebody to help us. We need a new God. Aaron says, okay. Who's got some gold? Who's got some silver? Bring it to me. They make a golden calf, and God is not very happy. He's talking to Moses. God's talking to Moses up on the mountain and says, look what your people did. Moses said, my people? What are you talking about? Your people. Moses says, okay, I'll handle it. He seems like he's in a good composure as he's walking down the mountain. He gets down there, he sees what they're doing, and he takes the tablets and he smashes them. And after dealing with the Israelites, he has to go back up the mountain and make new tablets. The first ones were made just by God. These Moses has to help make. I'm kind of happy the first set got smashed. I think there's a special holiness to the second tablets, that they're a partnership between us and God, between humans and God. I think that that's our job in the world, to be partners with God, to deal with the brokenness that we create and that's created around us, and to help try to fix it. To make some more shalom, some more peace, some more wholeness. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. So Shabbat Shalom to everybody who is here with us tonight, and to everybody who is also on our live stream. Shabbat Shalom to you. I think my in-laws are watching.
Shabbat Shalom.
Larry and Dinah. She texted me earlier, sweetie. So. Page 138. Page 138. Lecha Dodi. Verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And when we reach our 9th and final verse, we'll rise, face the entrance to our sanctuary, and welcome the Sabbath bride here with us tonight.
לקראת כלה, יללי בני שבת, בני שבת מקבלה, לקראת שבת, לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נשואה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, יללי לך דודי, יללי לקראת כלה, יללי בני שבת, בני שבת מקבלה.
Verse 5.
התעוררי, כי באורי קומי אורי, אורי אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, יללי לך דודי, יללי לקראת כלה, יללי בני שבת, בני שבת מקבלה, בואי בשלום עצרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובשורה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, יללי לך דודי, יללי לקראת כלה, יללי בני שבת, בני שבת מקבלה, יללי לך דודי, יללי לקראת כלה, יללי בני שבת, בני שבת מקבלה.
On page 140, Psalm 92, we sing to Shabbat, Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, a song written especially for this day.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, עלי אסור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
And now it It is a great honor to invite the Jacobson family to our Bima on the occasion of an upcoming bar mitzvah. I wonder when that is.
Well, it must be sometime off from now. Like tomorrow. So we're going to start page 121.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen. Sure, sing it, yeah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. We look forward to having you back on our Bima tomorrow morning, Micah, and your entire family. Mazel tov to you. Not only do we have a wonderful simcha to celebrate tomorrow morning, but we also have a number of our second graders here with us this evening to help lead with the exuberant calls of our Director of Education, Rabbi Daniel Alter. If the second graders could join us on the Bima for the Baruch, page 146. 146. And all of us, if we're able, please rise for the Baruch. Please be seated. And second graders, hang out with us as we move from the Baruch and do a few prayers in between. The first one for the fact that it turned into evening. That evening came, and so we thank God that creation still happens right before our eyes. On page 149, at the top, we read together in the English. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows.
Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai,
God, from
whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim.
And on page 151, thousands of years ago, our ancestors started to write down the Torah, thousands of years ago, and they've gifted it to us over many, many generations. And it teaches us wisdom. It teaches us so many different things about who we are, about what our people have believed for so many thousands of years. And we continue to thank God for this great gift of Torah. At the top of page 151, together, as you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. Did you mean Torah for me? Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Please rise once more if you're able for Shema, page 152, 153. Please be seated, and second graders, you can return to your families. Thank you so much for being on our Bima with us. We continue chanting the Ve'ahavta together, page 154.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
And let's continue reading on the top of page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history,
we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
All right, if you're a young person, if you consider yourself a young person, or whatever, I don't have an age cutoff for that, come on up here and join us right up here. If you'll sit with me on the floor, that would be most appreciated.
I could use a few parents or adults' help. No, you sit on the floor. It's an opportunity for us when you all sit on the floor.
We're going to get covered with a talit that's going to turn into our Sukkot Shalom.
The words are in the handout.
So you guys under here with me, and even those of you who are not under here with me, even if you are a young person not under here, or if you're not a young person not under here, or someone else, anywhere in between, wherever you may be. You know, one of the reasons that we come together, whether it's on Shabbat or for holidays or for just social events that go on here at the synagogue, or learning opportunities, whatever it may be, it's not just to do the thing that we're doing. It's also so that each of us knows that we are a part of a loving community, that we are a part of a community that is willing to hold a talit over our head and have their arms get tired while the rabbi talks too long. And that's important, because it means that you're a part of a community that will be here for you to hold a talit over your head for as long as you need. That you're a part of a community that cares about who you are, about what you do in this world, that wants to help you be the best you can be. sitting under here with me. And thank you for holding up our Sukkot Shalom. All right, we can head back to our seats.
Yikes, I can't grab it. Let go. Let go. Let go.
I don't know if it's the most important lesson that we have in Judaism. But over and over again, almost as often as being kind to the stranger, to the widow, to the orphan, to the people in our community who can't fend for themselves. That's what that means. Not that that's necessarily what it means today, right? The widow, the orphan, maybe even the stranger can fend for themselves in different ways in our society. But that's what that meant to our ancestors, the people who have no power. Watch out for them. Almost as often as it says that, it says to keep Shabbat. To make Shabbat different. Page 162, our weekly reminder to be guardians of Shabbat.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat v'dorotam brit olam V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat v'dorotam brit olam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai asa Adonai et ha-shamayim et haaretz ubayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinavash v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat v'dorotam brit olam v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat v'dorotam brit olam.
We have reached the central prayer of the service. The Amidah begins on page 164, and we will chant out loud together through page 170. The Amidah, though, continues through page 180. So when we are done chanting out loud together, you have options. Either you can continue in the Hebrew, or you can continue in the English. Or if neither of those words speak to you, just close your prayer book, close your Siddur, and pray the words of your own heart. That's perfectly fine. When you are done with your prayer, if you have not already taken a seat, please have a seat so that we know we can continue together as one community. For now, though, if you're able, please rise, page 164.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avoteinu, ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, ve'Konei Hakol, ve'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei v'neihem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחכה לחיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Page 178.
Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Atom Melech Adon Bechol HaShalom. Ki Atom Melech Adon Bechol HaShalom. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov me'enecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim
We turn now in our prayer books to page 371. Take a few moments to think about the folks in our lives, friends and family and loved ones. Maybe some of us here tonight who are in need of healing, whether that is healing of the body, healing of the spirit, healing of the mind. We pray for a full and speedy, refuah shlema, full and speedy healing. As a community, we are particularly mindful of Johanna Mabry, Debbie Pissarak, Joanne Blumberg, Erica Arnold, Marilyn Jeffs, Valentina Wolfson, Sally Rose Campbell, Hillary Handwerger, David Bloom, Judy Eisenberg, Milton Child, Jake Waxman, Bridget Ford, Roxanne Pawandra, Joel Berger, Margaret Leslie, Karen Simon, Andrew Bears, Steve Gill, Stacy Young, Elena Weissman, Paul Vanek, Reuven Levine, Jack Jr. Roper, Amy Bears, Judah Winston Schwartz, Sydney Usum, Barry Hopkins, Dave Gordon, Julie Lambert, Stacy Hostler, Ann Lisiak, Betsy Mark, Stephen Russman, Bill Wilkes, Allison Conroy, and Debbie Weiner. If there are other names to add to our list for healing, please do so as my eyes meet yours. Once upon a time, it's all how good stories start, right? In a land far, far away, in fact, not a land, but the heavens above, the moon came to the sun and said, "Sun, I gotta be serious with you for a second. I'm gonna be really honest. You know, regardless of the time of year it is, you're always warm. You're always feeling hot. And I get cold. I get really cold as the moon, especially in winter nights. In Michigan, it's freezing. And it's just not fair, son. It's not fair." The sun looked at the moon and said, "You know, you've got a good point. I am pretty hot. And you wax and wane. Who knows what's going on with you? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to do something about it just for you, because we're friends, we're buddies, and, without me, what would you be? I don't know, but, I'm going to do something for you." And so the sun got to thinking, I'll call down to the earth and talk to the greatest tailors in all of the earth, right? Tailors, the people that make clothes. And I'll have the tailors make a garment for my friend the moon. And so the sun called out, "Great tailors of the earth, I have a proposition for you. I need a garment for the moon to wear to keep the moon warm." And the great tailors came out and they said, "Okay, son, we think we can do this. How are we going to do this? Because, it's not just the size of the moon that's complicating the issue here, but the moon changes sizes." Not really. We all know that it doesn't really, but, in the sky. Okay, so it changes sizes. So how are we going to make a garment that fits, at one point in the phase of the moon and then fits also at another point in the phase of the moon? The great tailors of the earth did not know what to do. And so the simple tailors of the earth, the not so great tailors of the earth, they said, "You know what? We can do this. We can think of a way to create a garment for the moon. let's think here. They came up with this idea and that idea. They came up with, covering the moon with this thing or that thing, and nothing was going to work. And finally, one of the poorest tailors among the simple tailors said, I know what will keep the moon warm, even in the middle of a cold Michigan night. It's a garment made of light. And the rest of the tailors said, well, come on, how do you make a garment of light? What does that even mean? The tailor said, I think I can find this garment made of light. I'm sure it exists out there. I'll go searching for it. It must exist. And so this tailor, his name happened to be Yankel, he went off on a great journey. For months, he travels around asking all these people, have you ever heard of a garment made of light? No, I didn't think so. And have you ever made a garment? Have you ever heard of a garment made of light? No. Okay. And have you ever heard of a garment made of light? No. So you don't know where to find it? No. Okay. Thank you. And you? No, you've never. Okay. And clearly not you. And have you heard of a garment made of light? For months, he went around asking, have you ever heard of a garment made of light? No. Oh. Yankel would not give up. And in fact, one day, Yankel was crossing a river. And he was on the ferry boat crossing the river, and he thought, well, I'm just, who knows? This maybe the ferry captain knows where this, garment made. Have you ever heard of a garment made of light? Not even. Yes, you have, in fact. Yes, you have. Yes, the ferry boat captain said, yes, in fact, I have heard of a garment made of light. And Yankel said, do you know where you can find that garment made of light?
Yes.
Yes, very good. Very good. This ferry boat captain is a quick learner. And the ferry boat captain looked at Yankel and said, just, in fact, on the other side of this river is where you're going to find your garment made of light. And Yankel got very excited. He's been searching for months, sleeping on the ground for months. He's been cold too. He gets to the other side of the river and enters the great town, and he sees everybody walking around, almost crying, with horrible, sad expressions on their face. And he thinks to himself, this is the place I'm going to find the garment made of light? What is going on here? And finally he asks one of the townspeople, he says, what's wrong? Why do you look so sad? And of course, she needed some help answering. And so the townsperson says, Our queen is so sad, and it's making all of us sad because our queen has the most beautiful garment in all of the world, and it's been passed down from generation to generation in her family, and she was planning on wearing this beautiful garment to her daughter's wedding, but it's unraveling at the seams. And without this garment, she's not willing to go to the wedding, and so the wedding has been called off until her garment can be fixed. And Yankel said, that's really odd. Can't they just get a tailor to fix the garment? The townsperson says, no, the garment's made of light. And all of the tailors in our town, they've tried, but they cannot figure out how to fix a garment made of light. How do you even do that? What does that even mean that it's made of light? How do you fix something like that? And Yankel thought to himself, whoa, this is good. This is good. I found the garment. But how am I going to get in front of the queen? And should I tell him? Should I tell this townsperson what I want to do? Yankel was so confused, but finally he said, listen, I'm a tailor. Do you think the queen would let me try to fix her garment? And the townsperson said, well, why didn't you say that to begin with? In fact, there's an order in our town that if a tailor comes to town, they should be brought directly to the queen's chambers. And so that's where they took Yankel. And Yankel didn't think about the fact that, what would happen if he couldn't fix the garment? But he thought, well, here I am, so let me try. And so he looks at the queen, he looks at the garment, and he sees after inspecting it that it in fact is unraveling. And the queen says to Yankel, I've had this garment my entire life. It was passed down from one generation of my family to the next, and my daughter's wedding has been postponed because I can't wear it anymore because it's just coming apart at the seams. And in fact, when it comes apart, the threads that come off, they just turn into light as they come off and they disappear. And I don't know what to do, Yankel. Can you help me? And Yankel said, well, let me take a closer look at it. And so the queen gave Yankel the garment, and he went into a workroom, and he pulled the garment, and he could see that this garment, yes, it was perfect for the moon, because when he would pull it from its regular size, it would stretch. And then when he would let it go, it would go back down to its regular size. And every time he tried to pull it one way, it stretched without a problem, and then it would go back down to its regular size. So we thought, this is the perfect garment for the moon. But how am I going to get this home with me? And how am I going to fix this garment? I don't know what to do. I'm not sure how to do this. I've never worked with light before. He worked on the garment all day and into the night. And just as he was getting pretty tired, the moon was rising through a window. In fact, it was a full moon rising through the window in the workroom. And Yankel had cut off a little piece of the garment to see just what it was made out of, in fact. And he held up the piece of the garment to the light of the moon, and the garment, the little piece of garment, started to grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And Yankel said, that's it! That's how I fix this garment! And so he took the rest of the garment, the part that was unraveling, and he held it up in front of the window, and the light from the moon made it whole again. And he brought the garment to the queen, and he said, look, queen, you can wear this garment now. You can go to your daughter's wedding. Everything is going to be fine. And the queen said, thank you so much, Yankel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What can I give you? And Yankel took out of his pocket the small piece of the garment he had cut off, and he said, may I keep this? And the queen said, yes, you can. And in fact, not only can you keep that, but I'm going to give you this bag of gold as well for all of your troubles. And so Yankel went back to his town, and he traveled, because it took him many months to get to this town. He traveled for many months. And over the course of his travels, every time there was a full moon, he held up the little patch of the garment to the moon, and every month it would grow larger and larger and larger. Until he got back to his town, and he showed all of his other tailors. He said, look what I found! It's a garment made of light. And the sun came out and said, Yankel, thank you so much. This garment, I'm sure it will keep the moon warm. And so the sun took the garment and gave it to the moon, and the moon wears this garment of light every day and every night. And of course, it keeps the moon warm, because the garment isn't just made of any light, but it's made of the light the moon sheds itself. Shabbat Shalom.
That was a lovely story.
Thanks. That's Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav.
Beautiful. He was a smart guy.
Page 586. We rise for Aleinu if we're able, please.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגר עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים,
HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 591.
V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved, and if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We are in the first 30 days of mourning, the period of Shloshim for Marilyn Coster, Robert Mitchell, Mark Lerner, Matilda Post, Jeffrey Gersh, and David Koenig. Our yard sites this week are for Harvey Bircher, Elsie Bubash, Abraham Copeland, Edward Erickson, Lillian Fagan, Ida Goldberg, Beatrice Hertz, Jane Joseph, Rosalind Collins, David Markowitz, Vincent McMahon, Richard Meisler, Sophie Meskin, Louis Miller, Neil Millman, Rochelle Mizrahi, Sola Modal, James Paradise, Joyce Pensler, Ed Pirtle, Mary Rubin, Nathan Silverman, Jack Sundelson, Goldie Taylor, Rose Tamarkin, and Jerry Goodis. If there are other names to add to our list for mourning, please do so as my eyes meet yours. For all of those mentioned, for all of those who go unmentioned, and for all of those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, we rise, page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shemei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushvechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei Shalama Rabbah min Shemaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Oseh shalom b'romav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen.
Zichronam livracha, may their memories be forever a blessing. Please be seated. It is now my honor to invite to our bima Greg Lewis, a member of our Board of Trustees.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome on behalf of the Board of Trustees. Welcome to all of our members, to our families, and especially to our second graders and their parents. Terrific to have them here. I also want to welcome everybody who's out on our live streaming. And encourage, if you haven't had a chance to check out the live streaming and you're traveling, as I often do, you might check it out. It's kind of a great way to stay connected back to the community when you can't be here in person. We have a number of great events coming on in the next few weeks, and especially in March. They're on the back of your handout, and I want to call out at least one that I'm hoping most of you are aware of, but if not, you should be, which is that Rabbi Rick Jacobs is coming to our community. He will be here in Temple. He will also be at the broader community right towards the very end of March on the 28th, 29th time frame. I think that's really an event not to be missed. Shabbat Shalom.
And just because it's also new, I want to call out one more event. 2 weeks before Rabbi Jacobs is here, April Baskin, who was, up until pretty recently, the Vice President for Audacious Hospitality. We have one of those in the URJ system. April Baskin is going to be here actually as a part of a symposium that's going on at the university that is being put on by the School of Social Work, as well as the Jewish Communal Service Program run by our member Carla Goldman. And April's here. It's a conference on Jewish feminism. So April's here talking as a part of the conference there, but is going to be speaking here on March 14th. April is a Jew of color, and so we'll be talking about issues of race within the Jewish community. As well as she was on the leadership committee running this year's, the most recent Women's March in D.C., which, for those of you who followed the news around that, was a pretty controversial march this year around some issues of anti-Semitism. So she's going to be talking about her decision to be a part of that leadership group and what her experience was as a part of that group, and also issues of race more broadly in the Jewish community, and really the intersection of those two issues for us. It's going to be, I think, a really fascinating conversation, and it won't just be her talking for an hour, right? It's going to be more of she will be doing a formal presentation, but there will be opportunity for interaction, both with April as well as each other, talking about these what are not easy issues for sure. So please join us at that as well. It's sort of a lead up now to Rabbi Jacobs. We're in lots of URJ this year. Okay. Shall we do Kiddush and Motzi?
I think so, and I would love to be able to invite Micah and his family, as well as anyone who's sat on the floor.
Or I would just say any young person
who would like to come on
any person
up.
who thinks of themselves as a young person, come join us up here.
I think we'll let Micah hold the cup, okay?
Okay. Is it grape juice or wine?
It is grape juice. Oh, I think. No, it's the wine. Whoa. So ask your parents if you're allowed to drink it.
I guess so.
Okay. Well, it's also wine tonight. All right. So at the very beginning of everything, when God created the heaven and the earth, God made a separation between the sea above and the sea below, and God planted plants on the earth and put the sun and the moon, we talked about them already today, and the stars in the sea above, and the fish and the sea monsters in the sea below, and then God put the plants on the earth too, and then created the creepy crawly things to crawl all over the earth, like the bugs and the spiders and alligators, that kind of thing, and then finally created us human beings and said, now it's time to rest.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'ei kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'achata ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-shabbat lechaim. Thank you.
All right, and now our challah. Challah.
So I'm going to give one for you guys to come around the front and hold on to, and one for you guys to come around the back and hold on to. Pick a side, either side, but everyone has to hold either a challah or someone who's touching challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon.
And there's more in the social hall, not to worry. But you can also come and get some of this later if you want.
Awesome.
Yeah, right? It is awesome.
Whoops, careful, careful. Go ahead, sweetheart. It's the best part.
So before we go have ice cream in our social hall, one last time, Oseh Shalom b'romav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, and we'll add, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru Amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens above make peace for us, for all of Israel, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, for everyone who dwells here on earth, and let us say Amen. Oseh Shalom b'romav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom b'romav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru Amen. So before we leave, a big thank you to our second graders for helping lead our service. Every year, you're going to keep leading more and more of it. So we're just at the beginning of that.
Awesome.
So thank you to second graders. Thank you to our second grade teacher, Yarden, who's not here with us tonight, but still thank you to her for the work that she does with our students. Not only the ones who are here tonight, but also the ones who didn't happen to come tonight. That's okay. And thank you as well to our director, the director of our religious school, Rabbi Daniel Alter, for all the work that you do to help make our school the best school, I'd say, in all of Southeast Michigan. Why not?
Absolutely. Thank you to our ushers.
Our ushers, thank you, thank you. And if you could help those ushers by taking your Sidurim with you as you exit the sanctuary, that would be greatly appreciated. See you in the social hall.
Well, and especially thank you to second grade families and the Jacobsons for a wonderful oneg in just a moment.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
La, 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 la.